Hey guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelves for the weekend of February 11th. Again, this is going to be in our hockey tournament weekend for us, so I'm doing this a little bit early. I did not get any books for review this week, but I did buy a couple, like an ebook, a couple audiobooks, and get some books from the library. So I'll just start going through them. The book I bought was Dark Tempest by Annette Marie. Annette Marie wrote the Steel and Stone Urban Fantasy series, which I absolutely loved. This is her new series, which is the Red Winter trilogy. I didn't like the first book in this quite as much as the Steel and Stone series, but it was still pretty good. So I went ahead and got the second one in the series. I will say these are absolutely beautiful covers. They're just very distinctive and very well done. I really enjoy the covers on these. So hopefully the book will be as good as the cover. Then I did get two audiobooks. The first one I got was Endless Night by Kresley Cole. This is the second book in the Arcana Chronicles. The first book, I've been listening to these on audiobook, and the first book was interesting. And I wasn't really sure what it was going to be. It was kind of about the world ending, but there's also all these like fantastical figures that represent tarot cards. It's young adult. It was very interesting. I really thought the magical aspect with the people, like mythical figures that were tarot cards, sorry, I said that wrong, were interesting. So I'm excited to see like how that plays out in the second book. I know there are quite a few books in this series and it is quite popular. So I'm finally getting around to reading it. Yay. Then the other audiobook I got is the third book in the Heartstriker series, and that is No Good Dragon Goes Unpunished by Rachel Aaron. This again has been another very good like urban fantasy series set in a post-apocalyptic kind of Earth where magic has re-entered the world. These have been very funny, and I've been enjoying them quite a bit. So look forward to reading that. Then I did get 4 books from the library. I try not to get a ton of books from the library because I do have a lot of books of my own to read, but I did have some series have books come out that I wanted to read. The first one is The Visitor by Amanda Stevens. I was actually not aware that there were more books, and this is the 4th book in the Graveyard Queen series. I thought the 3rd book was the last book in the Graveyard Queen series, but apparently Amanda Stevens came back a couple years later and she's written a couple more books. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This has been an interesting book. It's about a woman who restores graveyards, but then she also has like a special connection with the dead and stuff. And I really enjoyed the first 3 ones. Hopefully the 4th and 5th one, I think the 5th one just came out, will also be good books. The next one that came out, so that one didn't come out recently, but the next one did come out really recently. And this is a book in a middle grade fantasy series I've been reading by Carrie Ryan and John Park Davis. It's the 3rd book in the Map to Everywhere series called Shadows of the Lost Sun. Again, this is a middle grade series I have really been enjoying. I probably should have my son read the books, but I've been getting them all from the library, so I like read my take them back, and he's got a lot to read already, but I have been enjoying this, and again, this is like a middle grade like fantasy adventure series. And the last 2 books I kind of picked up on a whim. Whenever I'm at the library, I go check out both the like middle grade, young adult, and adult graphic novel sections. They have all 3 of them in our library. And I did find a couple books in the middle grade graphic novel section that I thought were interesting. The first is Ghosts by Raina Telgemeier, something like that. This just looks kind of interesting and fun, and obviously it's about ghosts. It's got a very bright, colored style. And then the second middle grade graphic novel I got there was one called Newsprints by Ryu Zhu. And again, this one, very bright, colorful, it looked kind of fun, and I thought, oh, I haven't seen this here before. So ironically enough, I was at the library when I was at karate, and when I picked him up, he like picked these 2 books up and he goes, oh, thanks for getting these for me. I've been wanting to read them forever. And I was like, well, I didn't really get them for you, but yeah, you can read them if you want. So then he stole them from me and proceeded to spend the next couple days reading them. I guess that at their school they have like some graphic novel like newsletter thing, and both these books were in there and were recommended as being very good. So he was super excited that I had like read his mind and got these for him. So I guess yay mom for being super perceptive and reading his mind when I didn't know I was. But he did read both of them and he liked them a lot. He said he liked Newsprints more than Ghost because this one just had like more action and he enjoyed the characters more. So that's his review on them. So that's what I got this week. So I got 2 graphic novels from the library, and then I got 2 books, a middle grade one and an adult like paranormal type one from the library as well. 2 audiobooks and then 1 ebook, and that puts my total at 7 books this week. Of course, the graphic novels will be read very quickly, but I like them a lot. So, other than that, we got super, super cold this week in Minnesota, and like super cold by like a high of like 5. It was really cold, and then that was yesterday. Now today, it's supposed to be a high 45. So, you know, you just never know here this time of year what we're going to get. It is actually one of my least favorite times of year because like all the snow, it's been warm a couple times, so all the snow's melting, so everything's just like brown and there's like sand and salt all over everything from them de-icing the roads all winter, and it just looks nasty outside. And then you don't ever know, like it gets warm and you're like, oh yay, we're gonna go for walks and go biking and do all this stuff, and then it's like 5 degrees outside again the next day and you're like, okay, never mind, I guess it's still winter. So we'll get through this next month and that'll be great. As I said, I will be at another hockey tournament. I'm super excited. Hockey season's almost over. We have this tournament, one more tournament a couple weekends from now, and only one more hockey practice. And so hockey season is finally winding down. I'm super excited about that. It just means that we have weekends again and we can actually do stuff fun on the weekends. I mean, not to say hockey isn't fun, but I think it's a lot more fun for my son than it is for the rest of us that get drug around everywhere. So that's what I have going on. And I just realized yesterday we are going to Hawaii over spring break for 2 weeks, and that is less than a month away now, and I am super, as of today, it's less than a month away. I'm like super excited now, and we're starting to plan out what we're going to do while we're in Hawaii, so I'm very excited about that. All right, that's all I really have to say. So I hope that you guys got some great books this week, and I hope that you have a great week of reading ahead of you, and I will talk to you next week. Have a great day. Bye.